Welcome to Confessions of an SEO. This is Carolyn Holzman. As you know, this is where we talk about the people side of SEO. I'm someone who's been there on both sides, a local business owner for many years, and now a reformed client SEO, 12 years, now working mostly as SEO researcher, tester, and consultant. So, farmers and cowboys, mutual benefit when we all work together, yada yada. If you're an SEO, this is all for you. And if you're a business owner, I hope this helps you understand what SEO is so that you can hold your teams accountable without chasing them away. Welcome to episode 48, the Thanksgiving episode. And this means we're down to the last, after this, not this show, but after this show, we're down to the last 5 for 2021. I really need your help with a survey about maybe a season 2 of Confessions. It's 6 quick questions, and the short link is, you know how I like to do these, bit.ly/confessions survey. And yes, there are 2 S's in the middle, and I may have had to correct the spelling of the survey so the link would work. Hashtag test it. I really need to know if you like this kind of content, and if you don't, if there's things that you wish were here. So if there's features you'd like to see added in 2002, I would really like to know about that. So please take a moment, share your thoughts. You never know the life you might be saving. Also, it is my hope that all of you are having a happy Thanksgiving. For those that are not in the U.S., this is like the greatest holiday ever because basically it is family and food. Historically, it's a commemorative holiday depicting early American settlers who were saved from starvation by the generosity of America's native people. Well, of course, it's not that straightforward. And the day became celebrated as a national holiday in the middle of the Civil War in 1863 as a way to bring us back together. I'll let you know how it goes. Of course, right now, it is Black Friday. And right before Black Friday, Google decided to do a core update. Google says this update is complete. And we'll see, right? And I say that because they announced one earlier in the month on November 1st, calling it the spam update. And really, they didn't announce it on the 1st. They announced it on the 4th that they had rolled it out on the 1st. And all of this is documented in the Google Index Detector. You can Google that if you haven't already got the page bookmarked. And that's going to be in the spreadsheet that's iframed in the middle there. You'll see those dates where you can see the whole month in one go. It's all kind of cramped up. So on November 17th, they said, now we have another core update. Tegobitis, and I've talked about him before. He's a developer of Quora software. He's working on a weather tool that's based on things that can be seen right before updates happen. In 2020, there was an update in January that lasted well over a month. There was another update that started in the spring that just ran an insane amount of weeks. Now, when you add all this up in the course of the whole year, we spend like a third of the year in updates. By the way, I also wanted to mention that Ted's show, SEO Fight Club, has a new day and time. It's going to be Tuesdays at 11 a.m. Central Standard. Remember, I'm talking Central. You may live in another time zone. So if you subscribe on YouTube, they will send you a reminder. Ask me how I know. Anyway, Ted ran a comparative report looking at the top factors prior to the update compared to the new top factors currently. Now, he's not saying that this is over, but basically he saw that factors that related to backlinks kind of shot up in the top. What I love about sharing all this is that Ted makes tools where anybody can see what he sees. If you use Quora, you can see it as well if you run the Quora diff report. If you want to check it out, if you don't have Quora and you don't use it, what are you thinking? But anyway, the link, and this is where I'm going to tell you the short one, it's bit.ly/ and then it's Confessions Quora, all one word. And yes, I've been able to get a special price if you're going to look to add that tool to your SEO arsenal. So check that out. But anyway, here's my take. everyone says Google prefers the big brands around this time of the year. Well, with the information Ted shared, guess who also just happens to have a massive backlink profile and big-ass sites who take all that backlink action and in turn sort of churn that into their page rank. Now remember, I'm not saying domain authority because that's not Google's designation for it. PageRank was what Google published in their patents, so we know they use it. We just don't see the PageRank numbers anymore. Although when I first started doing SEO back in 2009, you could see what your site's PR was. So Google just said to all the little guys out here, eat someone's dust. Go ahead. Fall far behind these massive brands in whatever competitive situation you're in. Because Google, in my opinion, wants you to pay for ads. They do not want you to benefit from your SEO knowledge and rank organically and make bank. Plain and simple. So, what do you take away from this? Like Christmas music, which had to be ready in July for holiday sales. Start your link building for the high shopping season back in March, so there's enough time for Google to crawl, index, process, and update the link graph so that all those backlinks count for you. Oh, wait a minute. John Mueller said you should not build backlinks. There are things that I could say, but this is a holiday show, so let's move on. Okay, well, I hope you're having a healthy Black Friday. I am trying to rein in my impulse purchases this year. Oh, if only freezing my credit card and a cup full of water meant that I wouldn't buy anything. Well, and the last thing I want to share, this is going to be a little share and tell segment. I'm doing a live training on Forensic NZO in January. Now, part of sharing this with you is that this is part of my own, I'm going to use Air Bunnies, make it real process. Okay, so I'm going to continue and make it real. It'll be on Thursday mornings over 4 weeks, a live training, that means no recordings, examples, and anybody who is there can bring their own issues and questions. All of that starts on January 20th. This will be me sharing my process on how I diagnose whether, it's something wrong with the site, maybe it's dropped in rankings, or maybe why some a-hole is outranking another site. Curious minds want to know. Week 1, I see it as technical issues, going through those. Week 2, how to determine quickly if your on-page is on target. Week 3 is a deep dive into backlink profiles. And week 4 is kind of under the page sneakiness. So we're talking keywords and tricks. So the live unrecorded training will be showing screen examples, explaining what tools are good for, followed by a Q&A session. And the sales page isn't even up yet, so it will be, and I'll mention it here. But if you're on Facebook, if you like American Way Media, not only will you see the podcast there on your phone, I did hook up the podcast to the Facebook page, but I'll also post in there as well as mention it here. Well, that's going to do it for today. Wishing you all a healthy and restful rest of your holiday. Thank you for listening, and again, just a reminder, I could really use your feedback on the survey about what kind of stories you'd like in 2022, even if you want a 2022. Please subscribe to Confessions wherever you're listening. It's on Audible and Spotify and Amazon Alexa, and if you haven't settled on one source for your podcast, you can just Google Confessions of an SEO. You can't miss it. I've also put a link in the description to a site called podchaser.com. And it's where you could easily, without hassle, because I know some of you have told me, man, it is really hard to leave a review on these sites. Podchaser, you can leave your review without any kind of goofiness, and you can leave it of the podcast in general or even particular episodes. Well, I appreciate you letting your friends know about Confessions. All of us stand to make more business and success together when both the SEOs and the business owners understand each other better. It's been my pleasure to be your host. Thank you for your time, and I'll see you in the SERPs.